Right, so this is the second video in the drone business setting up. So in this one we're going to look at where do you find work, okay, how do you find work, what area do you want to go into. Well, what area you want to go into typically depends upon your skill set already. Are you adding to your business, or are you fresh out of the you're just looking for ways to make money and you want to start a new business, okay, you just need ideas. Well, this video may be for you on how to find clients, okay. So let's have a look at it. What do we think the number one way is? It is networking. Now, COVID has thrown a spanner in the old works on this one because you can't meet up and you can't go and do networking. But typically, when COVID, if it ever does bugger off, and personally COVID do feel free to bugger off. So when you go to networking, there's normally a couple versions of networking. There's either the breakfast ones, which means you've got to get up early in the morning. Good news is there's a fried breakfast in there. Bad news, got to get up early. But there's breakfast, but it's early. And you don't want to be showing up like this. That's not good. So you've got to be fresh faced. Then there is typically the evening ones as well. Okay, there are a few dinner ones, but not as many. Tend to be morning or evening in my experience. Now, you need to go prepared. Make sure you've got some nice printed leaflets, pamphlets, like little, you got plenty of business cards. I made the mistake once, I went without business cards. More for me. So, make sure you take everything you need, okay? I would say don't take the drone, but it does catch everyone's eye if you put it on the table. Because you're there to save them money. And what tends to happen is you meet up in the morning. Let's say we're doing a breakfast one. It tends to be a nice big L table, anywhere from, I would say, typically 15 to 30 people at these events. And you get to stand up at one point during this entire thing, same as the rest of them. You get to stand there and you'll go, my name is Tom and I'm a drone operator. That's not what they want to hear. What you want to be going is, my name's Tom, we operate drones and we're here to help you save money. And then you explain to them how you save money. So you get a delegates list, okay, so you get a list of who's there. What you want to do is mark out the people you want to speak to, okay. So you might mark out 3 or 4 names, but you only mark out the 3 or 4. You don't care about, this sounds horrible, you don't really care about the hairdresser unless you want your hair cutting. Do you want your nails doing? Well, no, I don't. Okay. The insurance person, I might want to speak to them because they might have a useful contact. Typically, they want to sell you stuff. The most common ones at these meetings are the ones that can make, are media companies that can make you more visible on social media. We can boost your website rankings. Well, guess what? Websites don't bring you work, typically, in my experience. Mine's never brought me a single job yet, but mine is looking old and shit, so I'm not worried about it. So, and this is one of the best ways. So network at these meetings. Be clear, be concise. You've got 30 seconds to a minute to stand there, speak to these 30 people and just tell them what you can do with a drone. You know, from roof inspections, if there's a builder there, you can go up, you can look at the roof and the guttering and all that kind of stuff. No high work level needed at all by a person. You know, don't have to put scaffolding up costing thousands of pounds. You can do that. Make those connections, keep those business cards. When you've got them, later on that day, you have to write them an email and go, it was great to see you today at the business meeting at Links Park. It'd be great to talk about being able to offer you the drone service, etc. Or, you know, looking at how we can help you save money, basically. You've got to get the wording right, but, you know, helping you save money is always a good one. Because that's what people want. You know, they want to save money. So that's the good bit, okay? that's basically it. And then the evening version of this, so the evening version, sometimes there may be food, sometimes there's not. And by the way, typically you'll pay about £20 for the morning one, and you may pay 20 or 30 for the evening, or you may get a free invite of some kind. Okay, some business groups are very much, they only deal with people that are members of their business community. So in these business meetings, and typically there are some very select ones, they only let one person from each type of business in. So if you're the only drone person in there, and you can start wiggling your way in, that's what you want. Okay, could cost you a couple of $100 a year, but it might make you a bit more. So typically what happens is you all end up sitting on tables. Okay, this is what happens, and there'll be like 6 people around a table, that you get to talk to. Make sure you get your delegates list so you know who's what. Mark the ones you want to speak to. You'll just dab them off. You'll have your food, and then what they'll do is they go around each table, and again you get your 60 seconds to say what you do. Perfect. Now make sure, if you need to, like I have for this, make sure you've got something to follow. Okay? And that used to be networking, and that's how it was done in the good old days before COVID came along and kicked us in the nuts. Yeah. So, that's how we used to do it. Right? Now, and it's a great way. It's a great way to meet people. Local businesses, local industries, what's going on, the how-tos. It's a great way to build some contacts, okay? However, then we have the next way. Now, this way is even simpler. This way, everyone can do. You can do this one right now. Okay, and this is how you find out if a drone business may or may not work for you, right? Because you've got to find leads. How do you do it? Now, if you're sad like me and you don't know anyone, you've got no friends, they don't invite you out anymore. However, if you have got friends, what you do is you make a list of every single friend you've got, right? You make a list of their partner's name, right? What do you think you now need to do? Now you write down who they work for and what they do. Now, if you're like me and don't know anyone, your list is going to be very small. But if you know 10 people, 20 people, 30 people, and you can apply this throughout everything. So it may be that you could go to your partner and go, look, I'm looking at starting a drone business. Could you do me a favour? Just make a list of everyone you know and who they work for and what they do. And they'll look at you and go, why is that? I say, well, I'm building a drone business, but I need to find some people that I can sell my service to. If you work out that all of a sudden you actually do know 5 builders, okay, if amongst all this you work out that you're 5 builders, right, what are the 5? So I've got 5 builders and they all do different things, right? You might know one, he actually owns his own little construction site, okay, so we might have one that owns his own little construction site. We might have one that just does odd jobs. So we've got Mr. Odd Job. Right? You could have one that does new builds. So they just do new builds. Okay? You might have one that's just a brickie or a roofer or whatever. You find out who they work for. If they work for themselves, that's an easier conversation. Right? And they might go, well, we've been looking. It could be the construction guy go, well, we've been looking at drones, but it's too much legal hassle. There's all the paperwork, the insurance. And you go, well, I can help you there because I've done all that. You know, if I could bring the drone down and just show you what I could do, would that be all right? And they might go yes. And if they go yes, you go down, you shoot some video, you shoot some photos, you do a bit. Don't do too many freebies. Don't get sucked into the freebie game, whatever you do. But you might just need some stuff. Now, before you show him anything on a computer, watermark it. Okay, very important. Right through the middle of the image, you start watermarking stuff, okay? And this is because there is a value there, okay? Amazingly enough, there is a value to what you've done, okay? So don't sell yourself short. I'm not saying right there charge them a fortune, you know, but you want to get down the conversation. So, well, you know, it's doing a construction site, it's doing some new house building. How about, you know, what would you like me to come and do, like for his website and for his clients to be able to see their new house is being built? Would you like me to come and be able to do like update stuff every month? So every month I come and take new photos and you can go, well, the red house sector's done and now we're onto the pheasant area, and from the pheasant we'll soon be onto the weasel area and so forth, or the fox or whatever you want to call it. But that kind of thing could go down well, you know. So it's all about, not just about who you know, it's about your wife, your partner. It could be about your parents. You know, your parents have retired. What did your parents do before they retired? You never know. They might have an into an industry, okay? And this is it. And remember, you may have to do more training. So these are the things you're going to have to watch out for as well. This is why I said thermal and mapping, because with mapping you'll learn about doing roofs and construction sites. You know, thermal, you'll be looking at where heat losses on buildings that they might need to know about, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so this is the basics, okay, on how to get your business and see if it's going to be viable and a bit of a kick. Okay, so this is just one way, by the way, but these are the two ways that, you know, you should consider working that kind of format. Doing this first will give you a rough idea how it's looking. Sound people out. Okay, sound everyone out you know that you could think of selling this service to. They might go, well, we're already using someone. That's fair enough. But you know, you've got to give it a shot. If you want to give it a shot, this is one of the things you should look at. Okay. Right. I believe that covers looking for work. Okay. Or, you know, this is one of the better ways to find that kind of stuff. Okay, hopefully it's giving you some sort of inspiration, but don't just rely on websites and don't rely on social media, okay, is my advice. You know, you may pick up the odd job here and there. Should you join any kind of drone safe organisation? Probably not. You only get in for, you have to put a lot of time in to get anything out of those kind of things. It's entirely up to you. It may or may not pay off. I've heard plus and minus to both. Okay, avoid doing lots of freebies for people. I've helped about 6 to 8 companies get going. You know, I've given up a lot of free time, and that includes standing in presentations, you know, being at big display places, standing there talking to people about drones. I must have spent, I reckon I've spent 20 to 30 days of my own time unpaid helping people out. And today, out of those 8 businesses, only one I still like, and I still can't, well, that's the wrong word. There's only one I still work with, basically. I don't dislike the rest. You know, they're all fine. Just don't hear from them. So the one I do is the one that builds drones, and I love it because I give my time up to them because, you know, it's great to see new toys. You know, it's R&D, it's nerd level shizzle. And nerd level shizzle is just great fun. You know, when we get to go out and just fly stuff and try stuff, I get to see new kit. I get a little bit of help sometimes with my kit when it's been a silly bugger. You know, that for me, that's my nerd level. That's the rest was just you know, doing stuff like a roof inspection. It's not nerd level stuff. Nerd level stuff to me is got a new airframe to play with. Oh yeah, and they have actually got 2 great ones. Can't wait. So yeah, be aware of giving up your time freely for anyone. Okay, just be aware of that. I don't, you know, and people have enough freebies in the world. So yeah, don't fall into the old oh, just give us a freebie or just this. If you do freebies, watermark your work so it's prominent and it cannot be removed. Okay, so only give you time. If you know, it's very hard. It's very hard. Okay, just bear that in mind. But this kind of system, networking and everything else, making these lists, this will work wherever you are in the world, nearest damn it. Okay, it's all about the in. It's about who knows who generally. You know, I've worked in parts of the world where it's all about the backhand, but even that is more down to, I've discovered, it's more about who knows who. Okay, and it is. It's, you know, it's all about who knows who in the UK. And once you do the right connections, that's where you want to be. Okay, so just think about that. It's who can talk to who and connect. Okay, right. Catch you later. I might talk about aircraft types next.